Nyesom Wike stepped in front of national television cameras and told the entire country that Governor Siminalayi Fubara had personally called him before traveling abroad, and that the moment Fubara returns to Nigeria, he will be joining the Rainbow Coalition. He said it with the calm confidence of a man announcing a closed deal. The FCT minister made the claim during a media parley on Monday, June 8, telling journalists, "Governor Fubara called me before he traveled out of the country. He will be joining the Rainbow Coalition once he returns." And then Rivers state government said absolutely nothing. No statement, no confirmation, no denial, just silence. Sources close to Fubara's camp have pushed back entirely, describing Wike's assertion as a deliberate pressure tactic, designed to project political inevitability, demoralize Fubara's loyalists, and accelerate defections before the governor's return. In Nigerian politics, silence from a governor's office is never ambiguity. It is a language of its own. The Rainbow Coalition, and what it demands. The Rainbow Coalition is a cross-party political structure comprising members of the PDP, APC, Labour Party, and Action Alliance, positioning itself to collectively determine who becomes the next governor of Rivers State in 2027. At a luncheon for coalition candidates in Port Harcourt on May 30, Wike dismissed speculation that any individual had already secured the governorship ticket, insisting the coalition had yet to formally decide its candidate. But the language he reserved for those standing outside was far less measured. His exact words, "If you want to be important in the politics of Rivers State, come and join the Rainbow Coalition. If you want to be governor, come here. If you want to be senator, come here. You must come. If you don't come, you cannot get any elective position in Rivers State, from governor to Senate, to House of Representatives, to House of Assembly, to local government chairmanship. That is not an open door. That is a declaration of political monopoly." He went further, telling Fubara's allies the coalition would win in 2027 and remain in power for 8 years. "Let me advise you, I've forgiven everybody. Come back home sincerely, because 8 years of politics is something else." Language of forgiveness deployed by a man who controls the legislative machinery of the state carries a specific meaning. It means return on my terms or face the consequences of staying outside. Where Fubara actually stands today. Fubara has not joined the coalition, and his position on his own party membership is now formally on record. During a public engagement in May, Governor Fubara dismissed widespread speculation that he had defected from the APC, stating clearly, "I am a member of the All Progressives Congress, and nothing has changed." He told journalists, "People should stop using whatever situation they pick up from social media or their own interpretation of any situation to present me wrongly. I have not gone anywhere. I'm still a member." Those remarks came after misleading reports circulated that Fubara had defected to the Nigeria Democratic Congress. The reality is more layered. It is Blessing Fubara Sr., a close relative of the governor, who officially defected from the APC to the NDC, received in Abuja by former Bayelsa Governor Siriake Dixon and other party stakeholders. He has since debunked suggestions that he is serving as a placeholder for the governor, insisting he has long nurtured his own political ambitions independent of Fubara. But the optics are significant. A member of the Fubara political family is inside the NDC, contesting 2027, while the governor himself remains locked out of both the APC and PDP primary routes in Rivers State. How Fubara lost the structural roots to understand the present. We must account for how Rivers State arrived here. Wike has successfully isolated Fubara within the state's political structure. Nearly all major figures in both the PDP and APC in Rivers State, including members of the State House of Assembly, are aligned with Wike. Wike himself has claimed the governor accepted not to contest the governorship ticket in exchange for the Assembly's forbearance over the impeachment proceedings that had been initiated against him. Fubara survived 3 impeachment attempts. The last, in March 2025, triggered a federal intervention severe enough for President Tinubu to declare a 6-month state of emergency, suspending the governor, his deputy, and the assembly entirely. Fubara returned to office in September 2025, politically diminished. A 3rd impeachment process was then initiated in January 2026, over allegations of gross misconduct, confirming that institutional pressure against him had not abated. Then in May 2026, Fubara attempted to re-enter through the APC primary, only to withdraw under extreme pressure after it became clear Wike's allies controlled the process completely. Both the APC and PDP governorship routes in Rivers State are now effectively closed to him. Fubara's remaining options despite being structurally boxed out, Fubara is not without assets. He retains genuine grassroots support. Community leaders, youth organizations, and a significant segment of Rivers voters continue to identify with him as a governor who, whatever his political limitations, has not been fully captured by the godfather system. His loyalists have also endorsed 32 candidates for the Rivers State House of Assembly, a bloc that, if successful, would give him residual legislative influence even after his governorship term expires. Political analysts have pointed to the NDC as Fubara's most viable remaining route, though with a clear caution, defecting while 28 hostile lawmakers remain in office creates its own complications. The legal terrain also remains unsettled. Court rulings have already sacked Wike-aligned APC executives in Rivers State, calling into question the procedural legitimacy of primaries conducted under their watch. If those legal challenges advance, the Rainbow Coalition's structural grip on 2027 becomes considerably more complicated than it currently appears. Two models of power, one election to decide what we are watching in Rivers State, is a collision between two fundamentally different philosophies of political power. Wike's model is transactional and structural. Control the parties, control the legislature, deploy institutional pressure as a negotiating tool. Make it impossible for anyone to win without your endorsement. It is a model that has, so far, worked. Fubara's model is diffuse and popular-facing. It bets that organic voter support, the legitimacy of a sitting governor with a visible development record, can sustain a politician even against severe structural disadvantage. It is a model that has never been fully tested against this level of organized opposition in Rivers State. The 2027 election will settle which model prevails, but today, the position is this: Wike's claim that Fubara called him has not been validated by a single official statement from Government House. The coalition bid remains unconfirmed. Fubara is publicly committed to the APC. His relative is inside the NDC. And the next consequential move from either side will define the shape of the race entirely. The citizens who didn't vote for any of this. There is a dimension of this story that goes beyond the political chess match between two powerful men, and it is the most important dimension of all. Rivers State is the source of some of Nigeria's most significant oil revenue. Its governance directly affects millions of people. And what those millions have watched for years is their democratic future treated as a bargaining chip in a factional dispute between elites. A legislature weaponized against a sitting governor. A state of emergency that suspended democratic governance for 6 months. Capital fleeing, investors hesitating, public resources diverted from service delivery to sustaining factional battles. The citizens of Rivers State did not vote for any of that. Wike has invited Fubara's allies to come back home. But home for the people of Rivers State must mean a government that works for them, not a coalition that asks the public to accept that one man gets to determine who can and cannot hold elected office in their state. Fubara has not joined the coalition. Whether his silence is deliberate strategy or simply the absence of a clear plan, it remains the single most consequential political fact in Rivers State today. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Accountability is not optional. This is AfriSite Forum. Stay informed.